Good morning, students.
Good morning, madam.
I hope you all are doing well today.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Before starting of today's class, I have a riddle for you, students, right? So, but before this riddle, can you just get back to your places if you have changed your seats? Okay, thank you. Okay, the riddle which I have prepared, it goes, how many sides does a circle have? Okay, I'll repeat this question. How many circles does a circle have? I'm sorry, but how many sides does a circle have? Anyone, please, the rule for this riddle is you have to raise your hand to answer this question. Yes, Shania?
To the inside and outside.
Very nice. Thank you, Shania. Okay, before starting of today's class, can you just check around your seats if there is any piece of rubbish lying on the floor, and if there is, just pick it up and throw it in the rubbish bin, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, students. Okay, before starting of today's class, does anyone have an idea what we learned in the previous class?
Madam,
Yes, Shania?
the formula of gradient and how to calculate gradient.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Shania said that we learned about gradient, right? So the first of all, what was the formula for gradient, right? So the formula for gradient was rise over run. Do you know what that means? Okay, I'll just explain. Gradient stands for m, which is change in y over change in x, which simply means m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. M stands for your gradient. The formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright? So, basically for today's class, we are going to learn how to calculate x and y intercepts, right? But before starting with that, there are some learning objectives for you students. On the completion of this class, the students should be able to identify and find the x and y intercepts of a graph and solve x-intercepts y is equal to 0 whereas y-intercept x equal to 0. Justify your answer by graphing using x and y intercepts. Do you understand that? Okay, I'll just explain you. Calculating x and y intercepts. X-intercept y is equals to 0, y-intercept x is equals to 0. Note, intercept method, this is the method which you will be using in your exams. This is a simple method, so you people will remember this method in your exams. So the step 1, work out the x-intercept by substituting y with 0. That is y is equals to 0. That means your x-intercept y is equals to 0. Over here, if the equation is given y is equals to 2x plus 3. So that means x-intercept y is equal to 0. Your y will be 0, right? So your equation is y is equals to 2x plus 3. So for that you will write your y is 0. You will write 0 is equals to 2x plus 3. Now, if you will minus 3 this side, then your 3 will be gone from that side and you minus 3 over here. So 0 minus 3 will give you negative 3. Right? So negative 3 is equals to 2x. To substitute this, you have to cross off your 2 to get your x. So 2x over 2 will cross off your 2 and negative 3 divided by 2 will give you negative 3 over 2 which is equals to x. So your x-intercept is negative 3 over 2 comma 0. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yes, madam.
Step 2. Work out the y-intercept by substituting x with 0. That is x is equals to 0. So over here, the equation is y is equals to 2x plus 3, right? So over here, if you calculate y-intercept, x is equals to 0. If your x is equals to 0, then your y should be a number. For that, your y will be y and your x will be 0 plus 3. So 2 into 0 plus 3 will give you how much? Yes, 3. So y is equals to 3 and your y-intercept is equals to 0 comma 3. Do you understand that?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Step 3. Plot the x and y intercepts on Cartesian plane and join the with a straight line, right? So if your Cartesian plane is given over here, right? So your x x-intercept is negative 3 over 2 comma 0 and your y-intercept is 0 comma 3. So you have to plot negative 3 comma 0. So your negative 3 which is equals to 1.5, negative 1.5 sorry. So negative 1.5 goes over here. 0, 3 which is your y-intercept, it goes over here, right? So now you have to make a straight line to connect the lines. So your line will go like this. So this is your graph for this equation. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, I have prepared a flip chart for you students for your better understanding of this topic, right? So first of all, positive y. If your line is positive, the axis will move upwards, which is y-axis movement, which will be upward movement. Negative y, axis movement, downward movement. If your y-axis is negative, then the movement will be downwards. If number 3, positive x-axis movement, movement to the right. If your axis is positive, the graph will move to the right. Negative x-axis movement, movement to the left. If your graph is negative, then the axis will move to the left. Do you understand that? Okay, the next page of this flip chart, there are a few examples. Before discussing these examples, I would like you to take out your books and solve these examples in your book, right? So the first question is, draw the graph for the linear equation which is y is equals to negative 2x plus 3. Have you written it in your textbooks?
Yes, madam.
Okay. And the next question is, work out the equation of the line given below. This is the equation. You have to solve, you have to give me the equation of the line, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your time starts now. I'll be just making a round in 5 minutes to check what you have done in your textbooks. Okay. If you need any help, please raise your hand. Okay, students, are you done?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'll just discuss these questions, these examples on the board, and if your answer doesn't match, then you can just question me. Okay. The first equation was y is equals to 2x plus 3, right? So for this, you have to solve y-intercept is equal to 0, whereas x-intercept y is equals to 0. So the first equation goes y-intercept x is equals to 0, y is equals to negative 2 into 0 plus 3. Because y-intercept x is equals to 0. Your question was y is equals to 2x plus 3. So your x is equals to 0 in this question. So please take out your calculators. Okay. So y negative 2 into 0 plus 3. What is the answer? It's 3. So 3. Y is equals to 3. Your y-intercept is 0, 3. Right? Your x-intercept y is equal to 0. X-intercept y is equals to 0. Your question is y is equals to 2x plus 3. Where is your y is equal to 0? So it will be 0 is equals to 2x plus 3, right? So minus 3 to cancel this 3 and minus 3. If you minus 0 with 3, you will get negative 3, which is equals to 2x. Now 2x, you have to cross off the 2 to get your x. Alright, so you divide 2x by 2 and negative 3 by 2. So your equation is 1.5, 0. Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Now you have to plot these equations, your x and y intercepts on this graph, right? So first of all, your y-intercept is equals to 1.5, 0. So if you plot 1.5, it goes over here. Your x-intercept is 0, 3. So you plot 3 over here, right? So when you just make a straight line, your line should look like this, something like this. You have your textbook, so your graph should be accurate, as I don't have a textbook over here. Example 2. Work out the equation of the line given below. The line which crosses your y-intercept, right? Your y-intercept is equals to 3. Your y-intercept is already given. It's 0, 3. Y is equals to 0 or 0 or 3. Gradient, which is m. The formula for gradient is rise over run, which is equals to 1 over 1, right? This was given for you. You have to calculate your equation of the line given below, and you have to calculate your y, which is mx plus c. So for this, when you have your y is equals to 0, 3, so y is equals to 0, 3, right? Your m is equals to 1. Just write this in the corner of your textbook so that it is easy for you to calculate this equation, right? So the formula is given, y is equals to mx plus c, right? So first of all, you have to know what is your m, right? So your m is 1. X, what is your x? You don't have any x, so you just write x. And your c, to calculate your c, the formula is c is equals to y1 minus m multiplied by x1, right? So y1 is 3 minus 0 multiplied to 0. So when you minus 3 minus 0 multiplied to 0, you'll get 3, right? So now you have to substitute this 3 in this formula. Y is equals to mx plus c. So y is equals to 1x plus 3. So the equation will be x plus 3. So your equation is y is equals to x plus 3. Do you understand that?
Yes, madam.
Okay, very nice. Now I'll just make a run to check if your answers are correct. Just put your books on the table now. Okay, very nice, Shania. Example 3. For the graph given below, work out the equation of the line. Right? You have a graph given over here. The points are, your y-intercept is 0 and -1. 0, -1, right? Your x-intercept is -1 and 2. -1 and 2. So you have to calculate the equation of the line, right? So please just solve this question in your textbooks. After that, I will solve this question on the board. Okay. So I hope you have done your questions. So now I'll explain this question on the board. You can just cross-check your answers with mine, right? So first of all, you have to identify the y-intercept, which is the point at which the graph crosses the x-axis. So first of all, when your y-intercept is 0, -1, right? 0 and -1. This is your y-intercept, and your x-intercept is -1, 2, right? So your x-intercept is -1, 2, right? So for that, the next step is to stop of a line passing through the 2 points. So for that, P is equals to x1, y1. Your Q is equals to xy, yx, right? Which is already given. So you have to calculate your gradient now, and the formula for gradient is m is equals to y2 over y1. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which simply means your gradient is equals to rise over run. Now we have to calculate. Actually, we have x1 is equals to 0, x2 is equals to -1, y1 is equals to -1, and y2 is equals to +2. Now you have to plug these points in the formula. Your formula was m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So when you have noted your points over here, x1 is equals to 0, x2 is equals to -1, y1 is equals to -1, y2 is equals to -2. Now your m is equals to 2 minus -1 over -1 minus 0, which will give you, please can you calculate this in your calculators? Okay. This will give you 2 minus -1 will give you -3. -1 minus 0 will give you -1. which simply is negative divided by negative will give you a negative. Now you have to substitute y is equals to mx plus c. Right, that's your gradient. So y is equals to mx plus c. Right. So what is your y? Do you know what is your y? No. Because your y, you have to calculate your y. What is your y? You have to calculate that. You have to calculate the equation of this graph. So first of all, do you know what is your m? Right. Your m is negative 3. Now you have to substitute this into this formula. So your m is negative 3x. What is your c? Do you know your c? No, you have to use this formula to calculate your c. Your c is equals to y1 minus m multiplied to x1. Do you understand that? Right. So which is equals to your y1 is negative 1 minus your m is negative 3. Negative 3 and your x1 is equals to 0. Now you have to calculate. Use your calculators to solve this. Okay. For this you will get negative 1. Is it right?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Negative 1. Now you substitute this. When you have your c over here, now you substitute it in this y is equals to mx plus c. As you had y is equals to negative 3x, now you have to add your c, which is negative 1. Now you will have negative 3x plus negative 1, which is negative 3x minus 1. So this is your m, this is your y. And your equation of this graph is y is equals to negative 3x minus 1. Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay, very nice. Okay, as we have finished with our notes, now I have a short video for your better understanding of this topic, right? So, do you guys know what I have taught you till now?
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
We have learned how to calculate x and y intercept using the gradient method, right? And your gradient formula was rise over run, which is m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so we have a short video from here.
Hello, this is Mr. Buffington, and we are going to answer this question today. What is slope? We're going to hopefully do some understanding of slope, mainly through practice, practice, practice. There we go. All right, let's talk about slope in very general terms. Slope is basically how steep a line is. If you would say that it has a really steep slope or a high slope, it would look kind of like this, just a really steep line. A shallow slope would look more like this, where the line is not quite as steep. Another way to look at slope, or two other ways that you could classify slope, is if it has a steep slope going downwards, and by downwards I mean when you're moving from left to right, starting here going that way, you would go down, and that would have a negative slope, or you could have a shallow negative slope. So you have a steep slope, a steep negative slope, shallow positive or negative slope. And two other kinds of slope, the last two is a flat slope, which is basically a zero slope, and that's a horizontal line, or a vertical slope, which is called an undefined slope. So that's the basics of what slope looks like. But we can't just say one is more than another, or one is steep and another is shallow. So we have to have some way of measuring which slope is greater, which slope is less. So we can't just have these two and go, well, haha, my slope's bigger than yours, right? It's not how it works. So we have to give it a number so that we can measure it. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is giving slope an actual number. And this is how you do it. First of all, you have to understand one thing, and that is that the slope of a line is consistent. If it's a straight line, it goes up at a consistent rate. So you can pick any 2 points on this line to be able to figure out the slope. I mean, if you have 4 points on this line, you can pick any one or any 2 points, and then you just ask yourself, how much does it go up and how much does it go side to side? Once you figure that out, you have the slope. So let's take a look at this one. I'm going to use the red and blue lines. You can see right here. To get from the red to the blue, it goes up 2 and over 1. Now, to show you that it is consistent, I'll show you using the yellow and green line as well. It goes up 2 and over 1. That's the slope. It's often called the rise over the run, or how much it changes up and down over how much it changes side to side. In this case, 2 over 1. That's the slope. That is the slope for the line. That's it. We can sometimes make it very complicated, but it doesn't need to be. You just need to go from one point on the line to another point on the line. If you're given a graph, that's how easy it is. So, it is now your turn. I want you to pick any 2 points on the line. I'll give you a couple of points that you can work with, or you can choose to ignore those points and try and use other points. That's fine. Pick any 2 points and find out how much does it go up, and put that over how much it goes side to side. Pause the video, try it out. Hey, which points did you pick? Did you pick red and blue? Or did you pick yellow and green? If you picked blue and yellow, it would be the same thing, right? It goes up 1 and over 3. Up 1, 1, and over 1, 2, 3. So the rise is 1 and the run is 3. The slope of this line is 1/3, 1 over 3. I hope you got that. If you did, fantastic. If you didn't do it and you just kept watching the video, that's just cheating. All right, now it's time for me to take a moment and teach something else. If the line goes down when you're moving left to right, we talked about this a little bit before. We call this a negative slope. It has a negative slope.
I hope you have gained some new knowledge on calculating x and y intercept through that video. Right? So now I will like you people to create groups, your own groups, because I have some group activities for you people to solve. The group activity is, the first question is, find the x and y intercept. Number A goes to group 1. A is negative 3x plus 5y is equals to 9. B, for group 2, negative 3x plus 5y is equals to 3. For the question number 1, it's 3 marks each, right? But please don't make too much noise while shifting to your groups. And while doing this group, while doing these activities, I don't want you people to make noise, right? So your time starts now. If you have not written the question and if you can't see the question, I'll just read it again. A is negative 3x plus 5y is equals to 9. Right? B is negative 3x plus 5y is equals to 3. Okay, start. If you have done your questions, please raise your hand to answer the questions. Okay, have you done your questions?
Yes, madam.
Okay, group 1. A. Who is going to solve A? Yes, Cynthia?
Madam, do I just give the answer or help
Yes,
you solve?
you just have to give the answer from your own places.
You want the whole solution?
Yes.
Madam, negative 3x minus 5 into 0.
Okay.
Y is 0.
How do you solve this question? You have to explain the whole steps.
Negative 3x minus 5
Right.
into 0
Negative 3x minus 5 into 0.
is equal to 9.
Right.
Then negative 3x is equal to 9.
Right.
Then x is equal to negative 3, which is in coordinate form negative 3, comma 0.
Very nice. What's your y-intercept?
Y-intercept, negative 3 into 0 plus 5y is equals to 9,
Right.
which gives you 5y is equals to 9, which is y is equals to 9 over 5.
Y is equals to 9 over 5.
That's
Is it correct, students?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Group B,
Madam.
please be loud and clear.
Madam, negative 3x.
Right. What is the y-intercept?
0.
Right. Your full equation, the
Negative.
full working.
Negative 3 into 0 plus 5y is equals to, sorry. Negative
This is negative 3x
plus 5y
5y,
is equal to 30.
right?
Then gives negative 3x plus 5 into 0 is equals
Negative 3x,
plus 5
Right.
into 0 is equals to 30.
right?
Then negative 3x minus 0 is equal to 30.
Right,
And then we get negative 3x is equal to 30.
right.
Then we solve for x. So negative 3x of divide by negative 3, and we cross it that side to 30 divided by negative 3. We get x is equal to negative 10.
Very nice, Cynthia.
Thank you, ma'am.
What is your y-intercept?
Madam, y-intercept is equal to 0, which gives the equation of negative 3x plus 5y is equal to 30, which gives negative 3 into 0 plus 5y equal 30. Then we get negative 3 into 0 plus 5y equal 30. We get 0 plus 5y into 30. We solve for y there.
Right.
Delete the 5. And we get y is equal to 6.
Is that correct, students?
Yes, madam.
Okay, students, I wanted the answer like this, loud and clear, right? So, the next question is, draw the graphs. I hope you have these answers in your books. If not, please copy it from the board. I'll give you 5 minutes to copy these questions, these solutions from the board if you do not have the correct solutions with you. Okay, the ones who have incorrect answers for number 1, you can just copy these answers while the other group will answer this question number 2. The question goes, draw the graphs of the following linear functions using the intercept method. Right? So the first question goes to group 1, y is equals to x plus 3. Done? Part B, y is equals to negative x minus 2. Right? C is y is equals to negative x plus 1. And D is y plus 3 minus 3x, which is equals to 0. You have to do the full working and draw the graph, right? Do you understand that? If you need any help, you can just call me. Your time starts now. If you need any extra sheets, or you can just do these questions in your max books. Please do not make any noise. Have you done?
Yes,
Have you finished your questions?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So, number 1. I'll just be drawing the graphs on the board for you people to see, right? You guys will be telling me the answers. First group, y is equals to x plus 3.
Y is equal to x plus 3, x intercept y is equal to 0, 3 minus 0 is equal to x plus 3 minus 3, x is equal to negative 3.
What is your y-intercept?
Y-intercept x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 plus 3, y-intercept
What are your points?
3.
What are your 2 points? What is your x? The point for x,
Negative 3, 0.
right? And what is your point for y?
0, 3.
Okay. So the graph goes like this. Do you have this graph in your books?
Yes,
Yes, madam.
madam.
Okay, very nice. Part B. Y is equals to negative x minus 2. Group 2?
Y-intercept where x is equal to 0 and y is equal to negative 1 into 0
Right.
minus 2, which gives
Please be
y,
loud and clear.
which gives y is equal to negative 2.
Right.
And the x-intercept where y is equal to 0, 2 plus 0 is equal to negative x minus 2 plus 2. Then 2 is equal to negative x, which is divided by negative 1. We cancel negative 1. We bring the negative 1 this side, whereby 2 is divided by negative 1, whereby we get negative 2 is equal to x.
Okay, what is the y-intercept?
Y-intercept is 0, negative 2.
Right? And what is the x-intercept?
Negative 2, 0.
Okay. Is that correct, students?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So the graph goes like this. Do you have these graphs in your books?
No. Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Okay, Cynthia. Okay, the next group, group 3, y is equals to negative 2x plus 1. Who has solved this question?
Madam Shania.
Okay, Shania.
Y is equal to negative 2 plus x plus 1.
Right?
Y-intercept is equal to 0. Y is equal to negative 2 into 0 plus 1, whereby we get y is equal to 1. The coordinate is 0, 1 for y. And x is x coordinate after calculating we get 0.5.
Right. So does your graph look like this?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
That's right.
Group 4, y plus 3 minus 3x is equals to 0. The question looks a bit tough, but the answer is really easy. Group 4,
Madam, x is equal to 1
right?
and y is equal to negative 3.
Yes. Okay, does your graph look like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, have you understand this topic, how to calculate x and y intercepts?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So, just a reminder, please whenever you do your group presentations, I want you to be loud and clear. As you have behaved in this class, you didn't make any noise. I want this to be followed. And now, I want you people to move back to your places. Right. So now I have a few quiz questions for you people, right? Oh. Please raise your hands to answer these questions. Please do not make any noise. How do you calculate x and y intercepts? Anyone? Yes, Cynthia?
X-intercept y is equal to 0 and
Yes.
x-intercept
Y is equal to 0 and y-intercept is x equal to 0.
Yes. That's the answer. The formula for finding gradient.
Madam.
Yes, Shania?
Madam, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Is equals to?
The gradient.
Right. Number 3. Positive y-axis moves in which direction?
Madam.
Yes.
Madam, upwards.
It moves upwards. Nice. Yes. The last question is, positive x-axis moves in which direction?
Left. Oh no, madam.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Very nice. So after these quiz questions, it is clear that you students learned this lesson and you have gained some knowledge on how to calculate x and y intercepts, right?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So today we don't have any homework questions. So you people may move back to your places, but be quiet and do not make any noise. Thank you. And now you can get ready for your next class. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. See you tomorrow.